When Russia invaded Ukraine in 2022, Ukrainians desperately tried to board trains to leave the country. Since then, the Ukrainian railroad has played a crucial role in evacuating people from frontline cities, transporting world leaders, moving cargo and Ukrainian troops. NewsHour special correspondent Volodymyr Solub and videographer Pavel Sukuldolsky have this report.
The early days of Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine brought chaos to the nation's largest company, Ukrainian Railways. With millions of people trying to flee, the train system was operating at peak capacity. The company had to change schedules daily to shuttle thousands of people across the border. Ukrainian Railways have become a lifeline for the country from day one of Russia's full-scale invasion. They were carrying people out of the country to safety and carrying in so much needed aid and supplies. Ukrainian Railways became the safest way for the world leaders to travel to Ukraine. Heads of states, prime ministers and presidents, including President Biden, they all took an overnight train from Poland to get to Kyiv. Recognizing the vital importance of the rail system during the war, last fall, President Zelensky awarded rail workers for their commitment and bravery, thanking them for their contributions.
I want to thank all of you and all workers of our railways. These are 220,000 people who, despite all the dangers, are working to make sure that our country keeps running.
The Ukrainian train system was also under Russian attack. Their cars pierced with shrapnel, their railways blown away by explosions, and their employees killed or wounded. And it was a rail station that was the site of one of the war's most heinous Russian attacks in Kramatorsk. Dozens killed by a cluster bomb that hit a crowded platform. According to Ukrainian Railways, as of April of this year, almost 30 of its employees were killed and more than 90 were injured in line of duty, with more than 1,700 wounded on the battlefield. 22-year-old Andriy Sobkovsky got his first job at 18 working for Ukrainian Railways as a train conductor. But 10 months into his first-time job, he was conscripted, and in April of 2022, 3 rockets hit the base where he was stationed.
I was stuck under a concrete plank. I was sleeping on my bed when it happened, and this plate broke in half and fell on my legs. A guy to my right died immediately. He was simply crushed by debris. A guy to my left was also conscious all the time, and I tried to help him.
Andriy had to wait for 12 hours before he was rescued. With part of the ceiling crushing his legs, his thoughts were of his close ones and his future.
I was thinking about my family, about losing my legs. I realized it back then, because even if your limb is crushed by something for 2 hours, then that's it. I knew right away that I will lose both my legs.
His rehabilitation is still ongoing, 2 years after he lost his limbs. He now has a special car to help him get around, but the biggest help comes from his family, even though at first they were all very shaken.
It was very difficult. It turned out that it wasn't my family supporting me, but I had to support my family. It was the most difficult for my grandfather. He's 70 years old, a former soldier himself. He took my injury very bad. We were very close. I spent most of my childhood with him.
It is for the people like Andriy that the Global Ukraine Rail Task Force raises money. Earlier this year, a delegation of railroad companies' representatives from different countries came to Ukraine, and they came bearing gifts.
Well, we've come to show our solidarity with the Ukrainian rail system in this war of aggression that was started by Russia. We primarily come to give the Ukrainian trade union, the railway trade union, a donation check for food packages and drinking water.
Nick Brooks co-chairs Global Ukraine Rail Task Force, which is an initiative of the rail industry from Europe and North America to support Ukrainian rail companies because of the Russian invasion.
It is essentially Ukrainian Railways, we think, is the second army of Ukraine. It is the backbone of the country, backbone of society, backbone of the economy.
The support from the European and American colleagues is clearly appreciated by Ukrainian Railways leadership.
Well, psychologically, it's a very huge sign for our employees that they have solidarity of the entire railway community. It's not, they feel they're already the largest community in Ukraine, but feeling being the part of the huge railway network and understanding that they're not alone, it's a very powerful message.
Ukrainian trains carry not only those presidents and prime ministers, but perhaps more precious cargo, the men and women wounded on the front lines and those returning home. And with the end of the Russian war against Ukraine nowhere near in sight, Ukrainian railways will keep playing a vital role in supporting the country's survival. For the PBS NewsHour, I'm Volodymyr Sologub in Kyiv, Ukraine.